MiamiRollerDerby.com, in conjunction with 247Miami.tv, is proud to present Rink Rash Radio. 60 minutes of everything roller derby in the 305. Visit MiamiRollerDerby.com for more information on upcoming bouts and events. And now, Rink Rash Radio.
Welcome to Rink Rash Radio. We're your hosts, Shakespeare
and Anger.
And we are here today with the wonderful, legendary Naughty C Cups.
Hello.
And we've got Disaster Chief, who's a skater and a ref with Miami's Vice City Rollers.
Hello.
We've got quite a show today. We are going to be having Key West Derby Dames. Their founder, one of their founders, Duchess. She's going to be on the show later today. And it's they're actually going to be playing their first ever official bout. On March 21st, it's a doubleheader game. They're going to be playing against the South Florida Bruisers, which is the B team from Fort Pierce, followed by, your Miami's Vice City Rollers against the South Florida Roller Girls. And it's actually, so Anger, I think, we had played this team before.
We did. They were actually our second game of the first season ever. And we lost horribly.
Well, this is a different team now for me.
Oh yeah, for sure. That was like 3-4 years ago. So
3-4 years ago of
the
training.
Different team on Miami's Vice City Rollers, different team from South Florida. So it'll definitely be something interesting to see.
Yeah, it should be a heck of a match. I'm really, really excited about that. We also are doing a promotion today. Our team is going to be at Sprung Beer Festival. And so if you find a Miami roller derby skater, come up to them, take a picture of them with your phone, and post a picture up on your social media with hashtag Miami Roller Derby. If you do that, we'll enter you into a contest for free tickets to our March 21st bout. And on March 21st, well, of course, 24/7 Miami will be there streaming live. So if you miss it, if you can't make it, don't worry, you can catch the live feed. So we will have a special edition of Rink Rash Radio, 1 hour of pregame talk. So legendary Naughty C Cups.
Hello.
I want to share that I thought you hated me when I first started Derby.
Me too.
It happens.
Great introduction. I'm just saying.
I was like, she does not like me because you wouldn't talk to me. And later it came to find out that you told me it's because you didn't want to get too attached to people that came through fresh meat and left.
Yes.
And now I love you and you're my sister.
Yes.
But I also want to add that you saved me from quitting. And it was, I think I've shared the story before. Whenever I've talked about that moment when I wanted to quit, it was the moment we were doing a hive drill. In other words, all of us were skating together in a pack. It was 40 laps.
Okay.
And I was falling behind. I kept falling behind. And I was just like, I just can't keep up. My legs wouldn't move. And you came around. I maybe had talked to you 2 sentences total, in that time. You came around and you pushed me back into the pack. And you didn't let me give up.
No, never.
And that was when I knew that I had to keep doing this. I had to keep training. I can't give up because I don't want to have my teammates have to push me. But I was grateful, obviously, that you were there to push me.
It's always never anything personal against any skaters, whether they're there for 1 day or for 6 months. If I don't talk to you, it's just because I don't necessarily want to get my heart broken because I invest my time and my respect for that person. And I learn your name. I know where you live. I know your, you know what I'm saying? And then they just leave. Yeah. There's been times where I was a fresh meat trainer and I'd have to get to know everybody. And I got so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, this person learned this and they did this. And then they're skating for Philadelphia next week. And I'm like, well, what the hell? I just wasted 6 months of my time on this person. So now that I don't coach fresh meat and I just like show up, if that person shows up and she's on that roster to actually play in a game, I'm like, hi, I'm Naughty C Cups, or, like whatever. But it's kind of like respect has to be something that has to be earned before I could just give it to you, because I'm doing this way too long and I just care about my team and I don't want that to be broken. So it's like,
see, for me, I actually thought you still hated me like a year ago. and I've been around a while.
Whatever. I always give this girl a hug. I almost said the B word.
Well, we were talking about it on the ride over, and she was kind of explaining that, she, like, you allow her to be herself.
Well, because I think it's because, like, I hadn't opened up to anyone yet, and you were just kind of like, oh, okay, she's one of those people. I'm just going to let her be that person. And it wasn't until, like, I started being more open with people that I started realizing, like, when I was more open with you, you were, like, open back. And I was like, oh, okay. She doesn't hate me.
I will give you what you give me.
Yeah.
Like if you're on the track and you're talking to me, of course I'm not gonna be like, oh, whatever, I'm nice, C-Cub. No, I'll still talk to you, but I still won't know your name. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you have to roster. I have to see your name on the back of your jersey. Yeah. You have to earn that name. People that just come into the role of Derby, like the role of being a Derby skater or a Derby player. Are you an athlete or are you just want to be a Derby girl?
Right.
If you just want to wear the tutu and the fishnets and call yourself a Derby girl, there's people that still like, hey, do you know so-and-so? I'm like, they played for one game 7 years ago, not a Derby skater.
Right.
So like,
and I agree with you on that. I think actually, it even made it more meaningful for me when you actually named me, because at that point, like I knew I had reached a certain level of respect in your eyes, and that meant a lot to me because you're a veteran skater. I look up to you.
You showed up.
You know,
all you have to do is show up, and I will give you the utmost respect. But sometimes I'm not even there because I'm working. But if I see you consistently there and you're making an effort and you're not giving up, then I'm like, okay, well, maybe I should know that person's name next month.
Next month. Well, I consider you my mom in Derby because I look up to you and I aspire to be more and more like you because you tear it up. There's no doubt about that. But also because you named me. You actually like helped me come up with my name. Literally, I was like between, these kind of using celebrity names and making like little mock names out of them or whatever. And nothing was hitting. And then I think it was Della that said, talk to Naughty.
Yeah.
And you're like, give me a list of 10 things you like. And English literature, Shakespeare was one of them. And you're like, instantly, boom, I got it.
It took me like a day. I mean,
not even.
You know what it is I don't make names for people that don't make sense. If it doesn't fit you, if I'm just going to name you just to name you, then it's retarded. But if that's you, that's your name, you just didn't know it yet, then it's like, oh.
Well, I bring this up also to add that there's another person in the room who needs a Derby name.
Yes.
And we've been going back and forth about a Derby name with this gentleman
all week
for days.
Hello, you've got me on my knees, Shakes.
That's a common occurrence.
Easy now, easy.
But George, you came up with a name because tell us why you're coming up with the name.
Well, I officially, I got the reply this morning. I applied to become a official WIFTA Derby announcer. Along with my partner, Tommy Gunn Cole. So been waiting a few days to hear back, and I basically get a one thing reply, welcome, and per your request, you've been added to the email lists or something like that. So I don't know if I'm in yet, but part of the application process was I had to come up with a Derby name.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I liked Dr. W, MD.
Naughty's shaking her head.
Doesn't make sense.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't get it.
So what the listeners don't know is the 100 post long thread that between us on back and forth on something as silly as me coming up with a cool Derby name,
right?
Which I thought Dr. WMD was pretty badass. Okay, just saying, putting it out there. That's the response I got via Facebook post. No, that really doesn't fit you. So it's what do you like and all this, and I've been working for years in broadcasting under the name George West, not my real name. Hey, that's private. It's like Superman. It's like Superman. You keep that on the DL. So far you like the George W thing, and you want to tie it in.
Your name is George West, so why not run with that and like George W. Crush or George W.
Now I liked Run DMC, and I liked Mike Daddy. Those
I like Daddy Mike.
The ideal of dozens of Derby athletes calling me Daddy.
Can I touch your mouth?
I kind of like that, huh?
Yeah, it's appealing. It's appealing. I'm not gonna lie.
Is that a golden
It could cause me other problems in other areas of my life and whatnot, but I'm willing to put up with the BS to get on the other side of that.
But this kind of talks to like something bigger in Derby, which is when you get a name, you become like becomes part of your personality. That becomes part of who you are and your identity, and it should reflect that too.
Don't you think that my personality and my identity are big and hairy, scary enough?
Like weapons of mass destruction?
Well, no, I had to put something as a required field. So,
but you're open to changing it,
of course.
Okay. And who do we talk to?
Okay,
we're good.
All right, we're working on it. She's right now. It's the George W. Crush.
Gears are turning.
George W. Crush is the latest one that's on the chopping block that's being considered.
We call him Crush.
I'm sleeping on it, and they call me Crush. which, you know, if you've seen me, I'm
We
a
can say
freaking
we got a
Adonis.
crush.
You can understand that. I mean, they're only human.
We can say we got a crush.
You could.
We got a
You
crush.
All right, so that's where we are with my derby name. Everybody up to speed?
Yes.
Yes.
All right,
Got
I'm
it.
going back to the mixing bowl.
Well, I also didn't. I'm wearing my honorary Running of the Bulls T-shirt in honor of Nadi.
If anybody is a derby skater, referee, or just a normal person, they should go to this event. It's in New Orleans. It's like 3 days, and the skaters, you get to beat people, and they're like, "Yes, give me some more."
Oh my God, we were like superstars.
It's like it's amazing. And if you're just a regular person and you want to like get and join in the fun, there's like 20,000-30,000 people that come from all over the world. It's
to
like,
New Orleans to do this, and we took like a 12-hour road trip.
it was amazing. It
And
was.
Nadi drove most of the time. She's a warrior,
I
road
say
warrior.
everybody should have to go because it's just that much fun.
But we literally go out there, we dress up, and people are there with bats, and we're there hitting them, and they love it, and they take it, and that's kind of what Running the Bull is. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the next segment. More from Disaster Chief and Naughty C Cups coming up, and later on we're gonna have Duchess from the Key West Derby Dames, who we've played with before
Love her.
in a couple of in a scrimmage. We went down to the Keys. Actually, you played in that game too, Disaster.
Yeah.
She's played with us probably for the past 5 games.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, she's played with us, so we're really excited to have her on. And stay tuned. Disaster Chief, Naughty C Cups, Key West Derby Dames, Duchess. Talk to you soon.